Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. During the election campaign, the likes of John Swinney and Stephen Flynn kept saying that unless you vote in SNP MPs, then the voice of Scotland will not be heard in Westminster, which is clearly rubbish because other parties have the voice of Scotland as well. And come the day of the results, it was clear that the people of Scotland do have a voice in Scotland. Unfortunately for the SNP, it's not their voice, which is good for the rest of Scotland, of course. They didn't like it. They were humiliated by the fact that they were voted in such low numbers, only 9 from 40 previously. It's as though people in Scotland wanted a different voice. And that seems to be the case. Most people in Scotland don't want the SNP to be their voice. They want sane people to be their voice. And all this push for stronger for Scotland that the SNP had is now clearly rubbish. Not stronger for Scotland. Worse for Scotland should be their new battle cry. And only just 1 in 6 Scots actually think John Swinney's party will not be booted out of power. In other words, 5 out of 6 people think the SNP will be gone from Holyrood in 2026. Not in total, perhaps, but not completely gone, but certainly no longer the party of government. And again, everyone in Scotland will benefit. But the Nats were out there and they were campaigning throughout the general election campaign saying, oh, we must have this strong voice, or we won't be represented, the blah, 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 and all the other bollocks that they kept saying. They were saying that they would tackle the issues that Labour MPs wouldn't and so forth. And they actually do have a point on that, to be fair, because you can't see Anna Sarwar complaining to Keir Starmer about the 2-child cap, etc. Although, strangely, the SNP, who are complaining about the 2-child cap and who do have the ability to lift it, aren't. So hypocrisy rules in so many different ways. It has led, of course, to us watching Tommy Sheppard implode, cry, kick his hat, I'm just glad the guy doesn't own a cat. He'd have kicked that as well. But he doesn't like the idea that people rejected him. But then, on the other hand, he's so easy to reject. He looks like, one of the creatures from Carry On Screaming. He's a funny, odd-looking man. He really is. And I know you shouldn't victim blame, but he is the victim of unlucky genes, isn't he? But anyway, he says that the voters have voted this way, but they're going to reject it. They're going to regret it. And again, yes, they are. They're going to regret having a Labour government. They should have went elsewhere, but they don't regret getting rid of the SNP. But there's been a poll from YouGov, and it's showing up some nice numbers. A quarter of the people polled say that their country's voice is now less likely to be heard, against the rest who say it's stronger. A third say, that there's no difference, so it's fine. But when only a quarter of the people polled think, oh, we shouldn't have got rid of the SNP, well, it's all over for the SNP. It is an unfortunate set of numbers. Only 1 in 6% think that John Swinney will be the First Minister after the next elections. I'll rephrase that. 1 in 6 believe the SNP will be there. Probably very, very few think John Swinney will be the First Minister, because I can't see John Swinney lasting much longer. This is why they're polishing Stephen Flynn. I say polishing. You can't polish a turd. They're rolling Stephen Flynn in glitter. So to make him look good in comparison with Swinney. Swinney's days are ticking off, and it's good. 7 out of 10, 70% believe that Labour will win the seat or win the government in Scotland in 2026. And again, I think they're probably right, unfortunately. The only thing that may change that is as time goes on and people see the Labour government at Westminster, they may be more disinclined to vote against Labour, or to vote Labour, or disinclined to vote Labour, more inclined to vote Reform. I think that will be a big shot. But the telling and the killer line, only 37% of SNP voters think the SNP are going to form the next government. Oh, bad, isn't it? 2/3 of your party think you're done. Time for Swinney to go. Time for the SNP to go. And time for big major changes at Holyrood. Can't wait. Thanks a lot. Bye.